Remember that Dead Island 2 announced trailer that came out a decade ago? Well, it turns out that the actual game itself would only be released after 9 years of development hell. So was it worth the wait? No, because the game has some major false advertising. Dead Island 2 isn't even on an island. The game takes place in LA, California. However, everything is technically an island if you zoom out far enough on a map. They could have just blown up that San Andreas fault to make it an island if they wanted to. But for real, Dead Island 2 is a really fun zombie game. I have never played the first Dead Island, but I might find some time eventually to play the first game after how much fun I had playing this game. Dead Island 2 takes place in LA, which is appropriately nicknamed Hell-A. The developers made sure you know this game definitely takes place in LA. The woke liberal Hollywood people have clearly never shot a real gun because of how much they hesitate to shoot. Men in women's sports, seriously, how much steroids would these female athletes need to take to look as big as this? And finally, a massive homeless population. Oh wait, no, those are just zombies. You get an intro cutscene at the start where they show you a glimpse of each of the survivors you can choose to play as before the evacuation plane is shot down due to one of the passengers becoming a zombie. Your choice for survivors are a generic black guy, Lil Pump, a Latina, green hair and pronouns, a generic white guy, and a hot Asian who I just found out is an amputee whilst writing the script. So more fun in the bedroom. I of course chose the generic white guy, Ryan, who is definitely a real firefighter and not a male stripper. You start Dead Island 2 at the site of the plane crash where you meet up with Emma John, some Hollywood actress, and her twink assistant. You get bit by a zombie but you manage to survive and not turn into one, so you are immune but not. As you progress through the story, you unlock more locations to go around and kill the Walking Dead. You get 2 beaches, 2 hotels, 2 rich neighbourhoods, the sewers, the metro, a movie studio and Hollywood Boulevard. The game starts with regular zombies that don't take too much effort to eliminate, but as you progress, you get steroid zombies, McDonald's zombies, raging feminist zombies, terrorist zombies, zombie scissorhands, and failed abortion zombies. Each of these zombies have their own challenges as to how you eliminate them, which adds some variety to the gameplay at the right time and makes you think about your attack strategy. This game turned me on as soon as I got my hands on the Wolverine claws.
I am soaking wet right now.
The Wolverine claws were basically my primary weapon for most of the game from that point. But then the game went 10 inches deeper inside me by giving me a sledgehammer. I get to play as Wolverine and Triple H in this game? Hell yeah. Most of the weapons you will use in this game are melee weapons, but you can get your hands on some guns. But what's the fun in that if you can't get up close and personal to see some zombie skulls getting split in half? Look at that, isn't that beautiful? However, what I don't like about the weapons is that they have levels and rarities, but the game actually gives you more weapons than you can ever need anyway, so it's not really that big of a problem for me. So how was the zombie outbreak caused? Well, it turns out that the CDC was doing a bunch of experiments and this is basically the government's fault, which is not surprising at all considering the fact that the US government has done so much shady shit in the past. Anyway, the United States government ends up sending $200 million to Israel because of the zombie outbreak in LA. Your end goal is to reach Dr. Reed so that the CDC can create a cure using your immunity. However, as anyone in their right mind who isn't brainwashed by government propaganda would think, do not trust the government. Dr. Reed betrays you after you find out that he's actually the one behind the zombie outbreak to begin with. He ends up transforming into a failed abortion at the end, so at least you get some payback. You meet a diverse cast of characters throughout the entire game, and by diverse cast I'm not talking about that BlackRock funded diversity. Dead Island 2 even managed to get Lizzo in the game as a zombie. There are only about 5 characters that are actually important to the main story, whilst everyone else is more of a side story character. You have Emma John, a famous Hollywood actress. You have Sam B, a character from the first Dead Island. You have Patton, a military pilot from the Gulf War who's been living in the sewers for God knows how long. You have Lola Conrad, a mysterious woman part of the evolution of humans known as the Newman, which is what your character is also a part of due to their immunity. And finally, you have Dr. Reed, the CDC doctor who is behind this entire zombie virus outbreak to begin with. Your character is immune to the zombie virus because they are part of Newman. Newman are basically evolved humans with abilities stronger than the average human, so basically plot armor. Conrad is the mysterious character that helps you discover your abilities. Your first encounter with her is in the sewers, where she pushes you down into a zombie pit where you use your autistic rage to rip and tear. This ability is known as Fury Mode. Later in the game, when Tisha, Dr. Reed's daughter, almost kills you, Conrad and her group bring you back from the brink of death, and it turns out that Newman can also communicate telepathically with each other. You have a number of skill cards that you can equip to develop your character build. You unlock a dropkick early in the game, and by the end you can upgrade your dropkick to set zombies on fire. This game just lets you have some good old fun slaying zombies. There's traders in most areas that will sell you weapons and crafting parts, and you can sell your old or unwanted weapons to those traders. It's actually very easy to acquire a lot of money. You will be stacking paper to the ceiling and riding on 24-inch chrome by the end due to how many weapons this game just loves to throw at you for free. You have a good chunk of side quests in the game, but I haven't played all of them yet. I would definitely recommend taking your time at certain points of the game to do a few side quests or go on a zombie killing spree to make the most of your time. You can upgrade all your weapons with multiple perks and one mod. The perks are for weapon stats such as attack speed and durability, whilst the weapon mods can turn your sword into a fire sword that can set zombies and gasoline puddles on fire. My final rating for Dead Island 2 is an 8 out of 10. It's a great game overall and you will definitely have fun playing it. You can easily switch your mind off for some mindless zombie killing fun when you load the game up. That's it for my review of Dead Island 2, and remember, don't trust the government.